Need help attracting your ideal client? Today we're chatting about 4 steps to identify and attract your ideal client. Welcome back. So if you want your ideal client to work with you, you know that you've got your coaching program all set up, ready to go. And now it's like, well, I just got to get the right people into this program. Then you know that you're going to need an ideal client. You're going to need a target client. You're going to need to know specifically who that person is. So I want to give you 4 steps to attract that person once you know who they are. Okay. So the first thing that you've got to do is you have to understand that you can't talk to everyone. So you've got to stop talking to everyone. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. You do need to have a target client. You do need to have a niche. You do need to have a very specific ideal client avatar so that you can attract that person. How do you do that? Well, let's go into the steps. The first thing you want to do is you want to get specific on your general market. So in general, who do you want to reach? For example, my general market is coaches. So in general, I want to reach coaches. So you've got to be, kind of clear on what that general market is. So that way you can start to zero in on that specific client. Now, there's a reason why the famous phrase says the riches are in the niches, even though I believe it should say the riches are in the niches. But there's a reason why it says that. And that's because the more you drill down to your niche or your niche, you'll know exactly who you're going after and you can really get specific, and it's that much easier to find those people. Step 3 is to get in the mind of your ideal client. You want to basically get into that conversation that they're already having in their mind. You want to speak how they speak so they'll understand you immediately. And the way that I like to do this is through surveys and research questions. Now, there's 3 ways that you can get the market research that you need in order to speak specifically to your ideal client. And I want to give you those 3 ways right now. The first thing you can do is you can crowdsource your research. So crowdsourcing your research looks like maybe just posting a quick question on your Facebook profile, like, hey, which would you rather have, this or that? Or going to a site like Quora or Amazon or Reddit. And on Amazon, you would read like book reviews to see what people said about that topic. On Quora, you might type in the specific question that you think your ideal client has. And on Reddit, you probably could literally just search that topic and you'd find lots of conversations. And so this is a way to crowdsource your research. This strategy is not as strong because there's no guarantee that the person who has that question is in your general market or it's someone who could potentially be an ideal client. For example, if my general market is coaches and I research the question, how do I get clients? I might not necessarily get coaches who are looking to get clients. I might get people who say that they're consultants or people who say that they are financial advisors. And so those are not the clients that I work with. So, the people who have that question, yeah, it's valid. It's still a valid question, but the research that I'm going to get from that same question that my clients also have is going to be diluted with people who are not necessarily my ideal client. Okay. So crowdsourcing research, I think, is a great place to start, especially if you're not quite sure what questions to ask. Then you can just start with, typing certain topics into Quora and going from there, seeing what questions are being asked, what common struggles people are having, and then you can kind of go from there. The next thing that I really like is direct survey research. And this is my go-to. Direct survey research means I'm going to my ideal clients, people who are already on my email list, people who are already in my audience, people who already know are the potential ideal client. And I'm asking them specifically, what is your personal struggle? What is it that you need help with? Where are you stuck? How do you think about this topic? And direct survey research is really, really good. There are 5 main questions that I love asking, and I actually share those questions with my coaching clients inside of Create and Fill Your Coaching Program. I think I've talked about this program before, but if I have not, let me take a second and tell you a little bit about it. Create and Fill Your Coaching Program is a 3-part course where inside the course, I talk about first the mindset and the energy of a fully booked coach. And then part 1, I talk about how to create your coaching program. And part 2, I talk about how to fill your coaching program, how to enroll clients. So inside of there, I provide my coaching contract, my welcome email template, lots of supplemental downloads, and lots of things to help you to get that coaching program going. And part of that is the research, so the direct survey research. One thing I share with my clients in there also is how to crowdsource their research to start figuring out what questions they should be asking in that direct survey. And it's something that I feel like is really, really helpful when you're looking to create the coaching program that you know your ideal client is interested in getting in. Okay. So if you'd like more information on that course and you want to join us, just check the description box. I would love to have you inside of the program if you're a coach, transformational coach, and you want to create and fill your coaching program. All right. The next piece that I like is one-on-one research. Now, this is what I share inside of the 5-day Gain More Clients Challenge, which is one-on-one research is just having conversations with people either over the phone. Sometimes I recommend that my clients do like 15-minute coffee chats. I also suggested this in the summer sales challenge to actually just get on the phone with people and ask them those questions. The reason that I like the survey research better than this one in some instances is because, there's only so much time in the day. So you can get a lot more a volume of responses from survey, but with a phone call, you can get more in-depth responses and in-depth conversation. And the other benefit of doing the phone call research is that you could potentially get a client because just as a matter of you guys having that conversation, that could turn into a client. And step 4 is to actually create that ideal client avatar. So you're taking your general market, you are figuring out what questions they're asking, what they're struggling with, right? You decided, number 1, that you're going to stop talking to everyone. Number 2, you figured out your general market. Number 3, you figured out what questions they're asking and you're getting in the mind so you can speak to your ideal client. The 4th thing that you need to do in order to attract your ideal client is to actually create that ideal client avatar. The ideal client avatar is a very, very specific, who is this person? What are some of the demographics that they share? What are the characteristics that they share? Can you give this ideal client a name? Like, what are those things that make this person the best person to get results with you? And part of creating your coaching program is knowing the problem that your potential clients have. But when you're ready to fill your coaching program, you need to know who that ideal client is that you can help to get the best results. And you've got to be very specific about it. And then finally, this is just a bonus, but you've got to make sales to only your ideal client avatar. If there's someone who seems like a good fit, but they're not quite right, and you're like, well, I'm not sure if I can get them results, but they're willing to pay me, so maybe I'll work with them. Trust me, the money is not worth it. Just walk away and work with someone who you can get results, someone who is your exact ideal client avatar, because the idea is that you want to work with people who are best for your coaching, who you can help get results, and people who are going to be your next success story. Okay. So if you're having trouble with getting coaching clients and you want to figure out how to get coaching clients fast, then you're going to love my latest training. It's called 5 Steps to Get Coaching Clients Fast. And in that training, I share with you the 5 simple strategies that I use with my clients in order to help them get coaching clients where they're able to, go from, making their first $1,000 online to booking well over $15,000 worth of clients in just 1 month. So if you'd like more information and register for that training, you can go to latisha.tv/coaching or click the link in the description box. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay. Bye.